Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah, and today, as you can see by the title, is all about my skin journey, how I got rid of my acne, and all of that good stuff. So a few disclaimers that I want to make before talking and diving right in is I am fully aware that my acne wasn't that bad. I'm fully aware that people have way worse acne, but there's also people that don't really struggle with acne and it's more of like a pigmentation thing or whatever the case may be. However, at the end of the day, I did have acne and now I don't. So all I'm doing today is just sharing with you what I did in my journey with getting rid of my acne, and hopefully it will help a few people out there. So another disclaimer I want to make is my acne might be very different than your kind of acne. I have very dry to combination skin, and I also had very cystic acne. So the kind of acne that I had and how I cured my acne might not be the same for you. But again, like I said, if it is very similar and you notice a lot of similarities with your skin, then again, hopefully this helps. Now that we're in quarantine, I feel like this is a great time to really focus on your skin and self-care, because now you have time, maybe, hopefully, and you don't have to wear makeup. You can kind of let your skin breathe. And yeah, I feel like out of one good thing in this is you can focus on you and your well-being. So all of that being said, let's dive back. So, starting out, when I was a kid, I always had clear skin. I never struggled with acne. In fact, that would bother me. When I was 12, I would literally take a red marker and draw pimples on my face because I wanted to be older. What? Like, that's so weird. My brother actually struggled with acne severely, and he was put on Accutane, and it was very bad. And I never really understood why people broke out. I always just thought it was very easy to, it was an easy, wash your face morning, night, take care of your skin, and you won't break out. I was really wrong. Moving up, when I moved to New York, it was like the summer between, I had just finished high school and I was transitioning between high school and moving to New York City. That transition, I wasn't dancing. The doctors actually ended up putting me on a birth control. So the birth control did really bad things to my body. Not only did I feel like I was just gaining weight, I don't want to blame that all on the birth control, just because, like I said, I wasn't dancing and I wasn't aware of the nutrition that I was taking in, so I was probably eating around the same amount of calories that I was when I was very active. So I'm sure that had a huge role in my weight gain. However, as a dancer living in New York, moving to New York as a full-time dancer, that is something that is not cool. Nothing that you're doing is really working. But also, my mood was all over the place and my skin actually started breaking out. And what's ironic about that is anyone that I had heard of being on birth control, if anything, it made their skin better. Not for me. My skin was horrid. It just broke out. And I'm gonna be totally honest, it didn't even bother me at the time because I think I was just so focused on other things and things that really bothered me, and just every little thing irritated me, and I was so irritable that like my skin just was one other thing that I was just annoyed about. So I called my doctor. I figured out that the birth control is probably causing all of these things because of the hormones changing everything in your body. So my doctor actually suggested that I stop taking the birth control, and almost immediately my skin cleared up. And ever since then, I never really broke out. And when I say break out, yes, I would get some pimples here and there, but I was never like full-blown broken out. And it never bothered me if I got like a pimple here and there. I would just think everyone gets them. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I would still do photo shoots and things like that. So my skin at that point, after getting off the birth control, it was actually still pretty clear, and it stayed consistently clear for, I want to say, 3 years. And then my 4th year of being at my school, or my 3rd year of being at my school, my skin, I was switching face washes and my skin broke out. I think at the time I was using this Hawaiian like detox cleanser. It was like a scrub, and it was super harsh on my skin, and it actually made me break out so bad. And this was the thing that no matter what I was doing after, I acknowledged that it was probably the cleanser because it was new and it was the only thing different I was doing, but I, you know, went back to my normal skincare routines and nothing was working. And then that's when I was like, okay, well, this is new for me, because I am an extremely impatient person, and if something is not working almost immediately, I'm out. Like, I'm like, okay, this is not for me. Basically, this was kind of when summer was approaching, and my skin was just horrid. Like, it just started breaking out here, there, and then like all down here, and it was things that I was so not used to, and it just like new ones just, and like I got like 3 new ones overnight, and I was just so confused why all this was happening in my 20s and never happened anywhere before. I made an appointment with an all-natural facialist, and a thing with my acne I was super stubborn about was putting chemicals on my skin. I was trying to make sure that I kept the cleanest ingredients on my skin at all times, and I wanted to stick to that. And that's why I didn't jump to a dermatologist, because I felt like a dermatologist would have put me on something that I didn't want to be on. But I was wrong. I wanted to just cure it myself using all natural products. It was not getting better. It was in fact getting worse. I was traveling so much that summer. And then I called a dermatologist. And the dermatologist that I really, really liked couldn't take me. Her first opening was 5 months from the time I called. And like, I was not about to wait 5 months to get my skin cleared, because that's really frustrating. I made another appointment at a dermatologist that could take me in a little sooner. I still kept the one from the 5-month period, but I went to this doctor first just to see what he suggested. I went to this dermatologist and he put me on a pill called spironolactone. And if you're not familiar with spironolactone, only females can be put on this pill because it has something to do with the estrogen levels. It's a blood pressure medication, but I know it has something to do with the estrogen in your body, something along those lines. Honestly, I don't know too much about it, but I do know that it didn't do anything for my skin. It didn't make it worse, but it also didn't make it better. I was on it for 2 months, and the only thing that I noticed differently about my body being on the spironolactone was I would get a period, and this might be TMI for some people, but I would literally get a period every week. If you are familiar with that, that is not fun. And not only was it just annoying and expensive, but I was dancing so much. I was dancing with Cirque at the time. I was dancing with Royal Flux in LA. I was doing very physically demanding work, and bleeding and having low iron was just not okay. And my skin was just hurting and irritated. It was just awful. And they also told me to put Clean and Clear. It's like a 10% benzoyl peroxide. And my skin is already very sensitive as it is, so a 10% benzoyl peroxide is extremely harsh on my skin. Like I said, it didn't work. And if you're familiar with having acne, you understand that you try so many different things and nothing works, and it is so frustrating. I hear you. It was finally, my dermatologist actually called me saying that she had an opening, so I'm really happy that I kept that appointment even though I saw the other dermatologist. And I went to the second dermatologist, and I was really excited to see her. I felt really good about this dermatologist. So this is what she did, and if you can't tell, this is what cured my acne. One thing I'm going to say before I show you all of these products is some of these products the dermatologist actually gave me, but I know that if you go online and look up the same ingredients, I'm sure that you can get the very similar products, or at least products that are really good for your skin and have these ingredients in them. It's more of the ingredients that is what is gonna, clear your acne up. However, I would suggest making sure that you're reading what's in the product and you're reading the formula and why it's in the type of container that it is in. Because if it's in a container that's not meant to be in, it can deactivate the products, and it's just, there's so many false skincare marketing out there, and I'm fully aware of all of this, so that's why I'm telling you. Drum roll, this is what I used to go from this to this. Here we go, drum roll. Now to start, in the mornings, which kind of shook me, she told me to be on Panoxyl. And the Panoxyl is the 4%. And she told me to do the 4% because the 10% is super, super, super harsh on your skin. So yeah, I washed my face in the mornings with this. After I washed my face and dried it, I would take, I'm going to call this like a benzoyl peroxide concentrate. And basically what this is, it says 1%/5%, so honestly I'm not too sure what percentage this is, but it looks like this. It's not gonna focus, but yeah, it looks like this. Yeah, and I would just put like the tiniest bit. It comes in like it's like just a white kind of, it almost feels like an exfoliant when you put it on your skin. It's kind of cool, and it gets a little sticky, but this stuff, when I first started using it, it would just burn. Like, I remember my face would be so red and it would just burn, but really that's just your skin getting used to everything, and this stuff works. Alright, now moving on to PM. Fortunately, again, I am home. I packed like I was coming home for like 2 weeks, and I didn't bring my face washes, so I will put a picture right here of what I used. I don't use this anymore, but the product that I am using right now, I haven't been using long enough to recommend, because I want to make sure that it's working and I don't want to be giving you guys false information about anything. But this is what I used during my time of acne. It's the First Aid Beauty. It's the sensitive skin. It's just a cleanser. I would use that at night after I took my makeup off, and going back, I would recommend not wearing makeup as much as you can. However, there are times that you just have to, and for that, I recommend not using a makeup wipe getting your makeup off, because that just causes more irritation. I recommend either using a micellar water like this, or I know Dermatology, something like that, they make a good balm, and I know I used the Green Machine to get my makeup off, and I would just use this with dry skin, dry hands. I would rub it really gently all over my skin. It would get rid of my makeup. My skin would feel nice, hydrated, and moisturized. And then I would just follow up with this cleanser. And then after getting out of the shower, or if I wasn't showering at night, I would follow it up with a tretinoin cream. I'm sorry none of this is focusing. I have issues with that, I guess. But this is a tretinoin cream. Tretinoin cream is something that I'm going to be using. Tretinoin is something that I'm going to be using even though my acne is, I don't have as bad of acne anymore. Tretinoin is something that I will continue to use, because what tretinoin does, it turns over your skin cells, so your skin is always looking renewed, and it also produces the collagen in your skin. So it's very good for your skin. It also helps with aging. The last thing is the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. Again, I don't have it with me, but pictures here. And I would use this morning and night. It is extremely important to hydrate your skin unless you were directed otherwise. I know some people are told not to moisturize for scarring purposes. However, I moisturized, and I think moisturizing is extremely important. If you don't want to spend money on an expensive moisturizer like this one, Cetaphil makes a great one, and I know that CeraVe is also a solid one. And actually, I'm pretty sure it's CeraVe, but I noticed that they recently came out with a moisturizer for AM and PM, and it actually has hyaluronic acid in it, and hyaluronic acid is extremely good for your skin. I'll put a picture of these there, the AM and PM, and super good. Now, moving into like the fun stuff, the only thing that I did changing my diet was I cut out dairy. dairy is something that I found broke me out like crazy. And not only just gave me pimples, but it would just make me have really bad pigmentation. I actually recently started eating dairy since being home. You can already tell like my skin, you can already tell like just like little hyperpigmentations here, like, and like I said, it only caused me to have a lot of hyperpigmentation and just some redness, and I just felt like my scars were not going away when I was eating dairy. Maybe that's something that might work for you too. I did cut out meat at the time. I was on a contract, and like where we could keep our meat wasn't the safest place to keep meat, so I honestly just stayed away from it for like 2 months, and that's the time period where my acne just cleared up. And I was also eating super clean around that period, no real processed foods. I was just trying to put the best qualities in my body. Honestly, what goes in is what comes out. So that is what you have to think about when you are thinking about your skin. That's not to say that you can't eat meat. Eat what you feel feels right in your body. Don't force something that, if it doesn't agree with you, don't force it. It's okay. But it doesn't hurt to just try to see what it is that could be causing your acne. Another tip is just not touching your face so much. Obvious like little things that, you know, you kind of forget about sometimes truly work and are super effective. So yeah, that is kind of my skincare journey, and honestly I'm still learning. I'm still going through it. I'm actually right now changing all of my new products. I'm trying to slowly ease my way into all natural organic products. And I will keep you updated on what I'm doing now with my skin, but I don't want to give you an update until I'm absolutely certain and positive that this is what works and this is what I feel has improved my skin. So I will let you know at the end of quarantine, because I feel like that will be a good time period to give you guys an update. But until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!